It was going to be like, oh, I forgot the cilantro. It's going to be like a mostly vegetable spaghetti with that ground chuck, like I said.
You want to put some red pepper in that?
Sure. Isn't it right there? Right there on the top there?
I thought there was one that was hot already.
Okay. I'll add a little bit of red pepper. I'll dice it up really nicely. Make the sauce somewhat sweeter. It likes to add a little bit of sweetness to the sauce, a little bit of spiciness, but it's mostly a sweet taste that the bell pepper, red bell pepper will give. Got some onion. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I have the white onion as well as the purple onion, or red onion. I don't know if I'm going to dice or if I probably will dice some. I'll dice the white onion, and I'll probably do some really nice strips from the purple. We got lemon to give that like some sort of small amount of acidity. We probably won't use too much. Oh, it looks like we got some oregano, some fresh oregano. So I'm going to add that. That'll be awesome. We're going to use the Primo spaghettini noodles. And we also have fresh basil. And we had butter chicken the other night, and we had a really nice crown petal of basil that we added to it, and I wish I would have got that, but unfortunately I didn't. But maybe next time. But I will add it in this one. We also have cilantro. We're getting a little bit low on it, but we got some of that also. We're going to use Classico as the base sauce, and it also has basil in it. It's going to be the base tomato sauce for tomato, and we'll see if we can thin it out or make it, adjust it from there. Maybe a little sugar, and of course we got garlic, and I'll make sure that's razor thin, as they would do in the Goodfellas. Anyway, that's what we're making. We're making almost like a ground chuck and vegetable spaghetti, all fresh, real Italian ingredients. You know, it's going to be real Italian. It's going to taste like real Italian. It's going to be great. Try it at home if you want. You know, I'll show you step by step how to do it. StacksAMilli cooks.
I love you, Emily. I love you ever since you first changed my sister's diaper. I loved you even when you came into my bedroom unannounced and I was having feathers. You're not it. I'm still not ashamed of it. Okay, forget it. back here. I'm really glad it came. You really needed to. Sorry for the trouble. Well, you weren't giving up. I'm not. I just figure. Yeah. And if you all look like him.
I'm gonna cut up this red pepper. I'm not gonna use much though.
He looks pretty happy.
Okay, I'm going to go watch that tour upstairs.
Next is, we'll cut up the onion. Yeah. Got the onions all cut up, got the red pepper all diced, got these diced and little shreds. So the white onion in the sauce will melt down. I'll caramelize them. When we first put them in the pot, we'll caramelize them, some oil and some maybe a little tiny bit of sugar. That's when I'll add the sugar. I'll caramelize the onions and then we'll go into adding the tomato stuff. It just gives it like a small caramelization to the onions. Gives it a very rich taste to it, to the sauce, almost caramely and appley almost. It gives all your little peels and things like that into there, and it'll be awesome. I'm going to be working with this and this, a skillet, as well as a larger pot. I'm going to boil probably in there and cook the sauce in here maybe. I'll figure it out in a minute. And I got this metal strainer, which will be nice. Got a metal strainer, which is a nice upgrade. It has the handles. You don't burn your hands or nothing like that. Oh yeah, and the basil and everything. And maybe a little salt. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and wedge this lemon. All types of cloves of garlic. Nice. Getting red. Took a little bit, to wedge these lemons, cut the onions, cut the red pepper, did the steak. It was Alberta Beef USDA. That's in Canada over out west. It's really good prime steak. And so I cut those up. Now we're working on the garlic. Get rid of this here. I'm going to try to do it razor thin with the knife. And also we got the cilantro and the basil. And then we'll work on the steps to putting it all together in the pot and everything like that. Yeah, when you're cutting the garlic, I would place your index, try to beat it up with a knife, so you can just go along your finger and it guides you with that garlic there. And when you get to the end of the garlic, that's when it comes a little bit scary. So you gotta really watch, guys, you know, because your knife will ride with that garlic or that onion, you know. So that's a big thing for kids, you know. You gotta be real careful when you're working with onions and garlic, especially in any vegetable. When you get to the end of the vegetable, that's the hardest part. That's when you really gotta focus. So you don't want to be cutting anything when you're a little bit drunk or, you know, under the influence of anything like that too much, because you could cut yourself, and I've done that before, you know. So. Ooh, see, I almost caught my finger there, but I only got the, what is it called, nail. Looks good. Fresh garlic. Looks like really good fresh garlic. I try to get some razor thin, but there's some that are a little bit bigger and it'll melt though. It'll all melt down. It'll be nice, but there'll be enough in the end of the sauce where you'll be able to taste the garlic, and there'll be some that's melted. It'll be a big thing of spaghetti. Going to dice up just a little bit of the jalapeno, give it a nice little extra kick of spice because the jalapeno is spicy and the red pepper is sweet. That's from those stuffed jalapenos. We still have a bunch of jalapenos left, so I'm going to dice that up and add it to the sauce.
Bonnie.
And yeah, I'm going to add the seeds because I'm only going to slice up three little medallions of jalapenos. And that'll just give a nice little spicy kick. Oh. Okay. I guess I'm going to start with the sauce. I'm going to add some olive oil, and you'll see step by step what I'm going to do. I'm going to add the vegetables in with the olive oil as long as I'm going to do the meat first. Maybe add a little herbs and spices in with that. So I'm going to have to cut the cilantro up in real fast, and I'm going to add it all in that olive oil.
Yes, your husband did show up. Yes, that's man. Who is this? Let me suggest your husband. Be.
Kind of slow down, lightly brown that. While that's happening, I better get this this garlic in. Start getting the garlic in here in the oil. Ooh, I can smell the garlic. It's getting sweet already, and I just added it. It's getting sweet already, guys. Sort of a sweet smell emanating. I will admit, I got the oil a little bit too hot, but it's all right because you know that's going to be ground chuck eventually. So that's actually we want it to be getting brown. It's got to kind of get degraded when it gets in. In the tomato. You can see garlic's already starting to brown up. We don't want to get too brown, so now is when we want to add, I would say, a little bit of black pepper. Not too much, just maybe a pinch or so, just to give that into the meat while it's with the oil. That way, the black pepper really penetrates the meat. You don't want to do too much. That might have been a little bit too much. It's going to be sort of spicy, but I'll tone it down. It won't be too spicy. We're not going to do ground cumin yet. Let me see what else. You can do a little bit of lemon. A little bit of lemon in there on the meat. Just give it a nice acidic sort of flavor it. Once you get really deep into that meat, start biting into that meat, it'll be extremely, not extremely, sorry. The meat will start to get, it'll be sweet. It'll give it a little bit of sweetness to it. Like it's sort of a tangy when you get in there. Celebrations. Trump gave you them to me, you know. I think we're gonna just add a little bit of that fresh oregano now. A different, I guess you would call these cloves, maybe? Cloves oregano? I don't want too much. This one looks good. There. Yeah, just one. One will be good. That's all we use for the oregano. That's fresh oregano too. And I've never used fresh oregano, so that'll be something to try. Usually it's all dried up and whatnot. Give the meat sort of just another little stir in the garlic. I might turn up the heat in a minute. We're getting that ground chuck real nice and brown. Sort of not ground chuck yet. Well, it won't be. Sort of just diced up steak, because ground chuck is ground. So when I said ground chuck, I really mean diced steak, but it'll give the same effect, same taste. If you have a grounder, you can ground some. Turn that sauce up a notch, and we'll get ready to add these onions and these peppers. And you know what? I'll add a little bit of cilantro right now, not all of it, just this part of it, sort of some stems and stuff. And you're like, oh, stems. But whenever you cook the spaghetti, it'll be fine. Nice stems. Some people don't like big stems like that, but I'm like, why not? Just throw cilantro in big stems. By the time it gets cooked, the stems will have like a really healthy vitamins, all of the vitamins and minerals of the stems, of these ones. Adding a little bit of sugar to add some sweetness to the sauce, not too much. That sugar will add a little bit of sweetness later on, and it cuts the acidity of the tomatoes. Also, it's going to give some caramelization to the onions right now before we add the tomatoes. So right now I'm going to actually just get this all nice and toasted and caramelized so they thin down a bit, and then we'll finally add the tomato in there, and then we'll see where we go from there. Maybe thin it out with some water or something like that. As you can see, the onions are already starting to caramelize. And it's really steaming up. So it's going to start to stick to the pot. You know, I don't want to get too sticky. Keep it Italian-ish, because it's kind of going like fajita-ish, but it's going to be sort of a Texas-style spaghetti, I guess we'll call that one. Big Texas-style spaghetti by StacksAMilli. Basil until we add the tomato. So the basil will go last. Let it just fry up here. We got garlic already. We have a little cilantro to maybe add as a garnish. I'll have to dice it up there. We'll go ahead and fill the pan up with water. I don't know. Yeah, we'll add the pan over this. All right. No. Just turn it down a slight notch. Then we'll add the Classico tomato base or tomato sauce. It's actually a sauce, a full-out sauce. You don't even have to adjust it. It's a great sauce, one of my favorites. They go on sale every once in a while. You can get them for, like, in my area or whatever in Canada, $2.49 up to $3. Sometimes you find them for up to $6. You know, some people are really making a profit off these, but they're very good. It's one of my favorites. It doesn't come in a can; it comes in the jar, so you don't get that candy aluminum taste, you know. And it really does taste great, you know. And there's a lot of different types of them. My favorite is the one that has little pieces of sausage in it. It's really good, and the marinara is also really great. So shout out to Classico, and I think it actually really comes from Italy. So you're getting it directly from Italy. It's jarred, I'm pretty sure, in Italy, and it's always really, really good flavors. It's definitely, to me, the most Italian type of sauce that you can get. Pre-made sauce, pre-made base. You can use it as a base sauce, but it's really nice as a base because it's a full-out sauce itself. You don't usually, some of them you don't have to add any meat or whatever, and it's also got its herbs and vegetables already in it. So really, I overdid it with the fresh herbs and the fresh vegetables like the basil there. But yeah, Classico, shout out to them. StacksAMilli loves Classico. And I love Casio. I just got a new Casio. My other one, you know, my gold one, it had its time, so I went ahead and did this one, another digital Casio with the sports band. Really nice. Got a really great deal on it. It's awesome. There it is, everyone. With the garlic toast and cheese. Finished. Looks beautiful. Big Texas spaghetti. Chopped up steak in there. It's all done. Looks great. Gonna eat it up.
Well, I admire your loyalty to lawyers. I guess without Primo, doesn't make it Freddie revenge. But how did he get Howard to do it? Felt like it was his idea.
Surely, Mr. Massey, you've addressed enough juries to...
How is it?
Good. Really good.
Just oh, did the wrong side. You want to do this side.
You're gonna win. I can always tell, going to Vegas, who's gonna win.
Well, thanks, but I'm going on business. I always win. No fault divorce. 2-week divorce without a lawyer. Let me sick on the stomach. No fault divorce. God. Talk about your oxymoron. What's the world coming to? One man can only do so much.
You got a little piece of steak in it? You got a little piece of steak in yours?
I rushed Freddie Bender yesterday. He tells me that Marilyn, your ex-wife Doyle, is now richer than Croesus.
Ah, yes, but is she richer than Mrs. Croesus?
She could buy and sell you 10 times over.
Yes, we were adversaries. Let us raise a glass. So, how does it feel?
Sir?
Victory. Independence.
Oh. It's pretty well.
Not everything we hoped for. Another thing.
Independence. To what sort? My friend, my best friend, Sarah Silverman? Sarah Batista O'Flanagan? Anyway, 3 fine settlements and one way that
Important. Because today, thank you. In fact, destroys love, destroys our clients, and ultimately destroys ourselves. Colleagues, when our clients come to us confused,